Welcome back to my channel. Let's continue talking about AI and online courses. So today I want to specifically look at comparing ChatGPT to the Kajabi AI course creator and just having a look at the differences, and then regardless of what you're using, just talking about some tips on what you should do when you're creating your course. So let's take a look at a comparison of the two. So over here, I have written in a prompt in ChatGPT. Can you please create a course outline for renovating your first home? So let's have a look at this. That I've got an introduction and I have a conclusion. Now both in the Kajabi AI course creator and in this ChatGPT, both of them have introductions and conclusions, which is a good starting point. But then I can see that there are 6 different modules in ChatGPT that work in this structured manner of building up someone to be able to renovate their first home. Later in this video, I will further expand on this progression of learning and the different levels of learning, so stay tuned. Now let's look at those 6 modules in comparison to the AI Creator Hub over here from Kajabi, asking the same question. Well, I didn't say, can you please create, because I just need to type in my course topic of to renovate your first home. And I do have an introduction and I do have a conclusion. However, I only have 2 modules, not 6, and they are planning and executing. That may be okay for some people. Some people might only need to know how to plan and how to execute. Further looking at the differences, we can see that there's 3 different learning outcomes under each module, and over here in ChatGPT we have 4. Now, doesn't matter if you have 3 or 4. What is good, however, with the both of them is that there's no more than 5. I wouldn't go past 5. If you have to go past 5, I would stretch that to 7, but usually between 3 to 5 learning outcomes per module is a great place to start so that you're not overwhelming your students. Anything more than that, it's just going to give them cognitive overload. They're going to walk away from that module not learning anything. So we don't want to overwhelm, we don't want to overstress our students. So at that 3 to 5 mark for both of these applications, we're good. However, what I'm finding with both of them is, can you see that we've got this word planning, defining, assessing, creating? And we have the same here, creating, finding, getting, etc. Now, these are written in like a continuous tense. So what will you be doing? You'll be getting, finding, creating, etc. When you're writing learning outcomes, and that also goes for writing modules, for writing your course goal, you should be writing them in a tense as if your student has already attained that learning outcome. So we should be writing them in a present tense. So we should be writing create, find, get. We should also be writing, let's have a look at this one here. We should be writing define, assess, create, select. And the reason why we do that is that we're speaking to our students in what they will be able to do. Okay, so when you start to create a course curriculum, make sure that you are writing it in the present tense. And to help you do that, you can ask yourself the question, my students will have the ability to, and then fill in the gaps. And then you would say plan, assess, create. The reason why I find this difficult is when we're saying creating, planning, selecting, is that we're saying what will someone be doing at that specific time. And that's great for when you're writing out your specific lessons. However, here where we're writing out the learning outcome and what should be in that module, we should be writing what the outcome is and writing that in present tense. And that brings up another issue, that here we've got a module and then we go straight into the lesson. Defining your goals and priorities, assessing your budget, they are learning outcomes. Underneath them, there may be multiple lessons that you need to do to help someone to define what their goal and priority is, and to help someone to be able to assess their budget, and to be able to identify, to be able to select their financing options, right? So they're the issues that I have with both of them. An important point I want to raise is levels of learning. That when someone's learning, we learn in this progression, which is what I mentioned at the start of this video, how ChatGPT has this progression, and I didn't find Kajabi had that progression. If you would like to learn more about levels of learning, check out the video in the description below that talks about Bloom's taxonomy. It talks about the 6 different levels of learning, which knowledge, understand, apply, analyze, evaluate, and create. And when I teach my clients how to create online course curriculums, I break those 6 into 3 different levels, which is knowledge, and that falls under the understanding and comprehension. And then we have skills, and that's when we're applying and we're analyzing. And then the third one is abilities. That's when we're evaluating and creating. So I don't know if the ChatGPT and Kajabi have gone into those depths of learning, but it is good to evaluate. And I'm not saying by any means to not use ChatGPT and to not use Kajabi. That's not what I'm saying. All I'm saying is evaluate the output and evaluate it with this idea of the levels of learning. And that brings me to the final point that I want to talk about today, is that ChatGPT nor Kajabi know who your target market is. That is, they don't know what the experience of your target market is. What are they bringing to your online course? All of their past experience, all of that motivates us to learn. And understanding the past experience will help you as a course creator to understand how to motivate your students and also understand at what point will you start in the course. So for example, when we did look at the Kajabi course that only had 2 modules, that might be perfect for your target audience. But if your target audience are just starting off, have never done it before, then maybe the ChatGPT example is more what they need because it's more in depth. So in this video, we've explored the differences between ChatGPT and Kajabi. Both of them did provide a good output, although ChatGPT did have a more thorough and in-depth course plan. Both of them did write in the continuous tense, which I find are useful for lessons, but not useful for learning outcomes, which we discussed. And AI does not know your target audience. So make sure that you are evaluating the output and readjusting it for your target audience, readjusting it for their needs. If you've used the Kajabi AI Creator Hub or if you've used ChatGPT, let me know in the comments below about your experience. Is this just what I'm finding after multiple different tests, or have you also found the same thing? Let me know below. Every single week I am posting a new video here on my YouTube channel, so don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification button so you are notified of new videos. If you want anything in particular demonstrated, let me know. Until next time, happy course creating.